Do you live ECU?
R.
Do you bleed purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
Welcome in. It is Hoist the Colors on a Thursday edition of the program. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. If you got a question, comment, concern, drop it in the chat, and we will get to it over the course of the next hour. Another busy show ahead. We will have a couple of former Pirates join us over the course of the next 30, 45 minutes. We're scheduled to speak with Ryheem Craig and also Marlon Gunn Jr., former Pirate running back. Should be fun to catch up with those guys. Of course, yesterday we talked with Peyton Mangrum. He told us about, obviously, his game-winning catch against Memphis, but also how he played the final game with either a torn ACL, without an ACL, and then we caught up with Sam Danka as well. So catch those interviews and more, 94.3 The Game on YouTube. It is you can make sure you subscribe there, set up notifications. It's also archived on Spotify, Apple Podcast as well. And you can make sure to download and subscribe to our channels on each of those platforms for our replays. Today, we will also address the latest transfer portal additions as the Pirates continue to add there. Philip Hilkin is back in the 94.3 The Game studios. He produced ECU basketball's loss last night, I believe, to Temple. He also saw his Boston Celtics lose to the Hospital Denver Nuggets. So, Philip, how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. First off, congratulations on your win. You guys did what you had to do. We tried to take Murray away because we knew he was your only starter, and you guys did a great job having some other guys step up. And, hey, that's the mentality, right? Next man up. And, wish East Carolina played a little better. Look, they've got, I think it's 11 double-digit comebacks over Mike Schwartz, and we saw why last night. They fought till the end. The one thing this team has is character and hard work and lack of giving up. They don't do it. Unfortunately, it's too little too late. Also, I do have to say, a little off topic, what's that shirt there? Is that a Seattle Mariners Simpsons shirt? Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is King Griffey Jr. Simpsons. If I can move my mic out of the way real quick.
There you go.
This is this is from when he appeared. They had that baseball episode with him and many others, and I do have to give Zach Maskovich credit. He posted this shirt on Instagram a couple years ago, and I was like, man, I need that shirt because it's like a baseball card of King Griffey Jr. when he appeared on The Simpsons. That was one of my favorite episodes.
I like that. Sorry, I know it was off topic, but I saw that, and I was like, had to give you some props there.
Well, shout out Zach Maskovich for the idea. But yeah, got it from, I think it was like customtees.com or something like that. But maybe don't go there because you get a virus. I don't know. I'll try to get the legit website before you enter. All right, let's start on the portal front. I've also got alarm bells going off that ECU is getting more commitments. So if you follow Lance Ware on Twitter, anytime ECU gets a commitment, he's the director of player personnel and recruiting for ECU. He'll tweet out a GIF. Do we still? I still don't know the correct pronunciation. But either way,
it's a
GIF.
GIF.
Okay, a GIF of like a slot machine with all the pirate skulls aligning, and basically that they won. So this usually means a commitment. So apparently they got another commitment just before we took the air. So I'm trying to figure out what that is. But either way, the Pirates now, what we know as of 12:03 Eastern Time on Thursday, the Pirates have 9 transfer commitments that we know about. Of course, we've touched on many of those on the show. Cornerback Ashton Levels, FIU transfer. We talked about Jakeith Hamilton, receiver, Furman transfer. We talked about Christian Peterson, UCF, nickel/safety transfer. We've discussed Ismail Smith Flores, Rio Grande Valley tight end transfer, and then Ashton Gray, running back transfer from North Texas. We've covered all those guys pretty much in depth as they've happened. Now, yesterday when we were exiting the air, it had just broken that Landon Sides, another transfer from North Texas receiver, had committed to ECU, had announced his signing with ECU. So we'll discuss him today. Pirates also add Ethan Kramer, an offensive lineman from Northern Arizona, Kanan Hamlet, a tight end from App State, and then this morning, Jalen Bowden, a cornerback from Minnesota. So let's kind of go through each of these guys And we will have more of an in-depth show, I will say, at some point once the portal's closed, looking at each position. But for now, we're just going to go through each of these guys, kind of break down the news, give our reactions as we can. All right, Landon Sides, another big fan of this guy, big fan of this move, He comes over, played under Jordan Davis, who was a receivers coach and OC at North Texas. North Texas fans love this guy. Now, part of that is from he's from Denton. He went to Geyer High School in Denton, but he's another guy, 5'11", and 190, can play inside, play outside. He played slot the first 2 years of his time at North Texas, then moved outside. He's got, I believe, 88 career catches for over 1,000 yards. In high school, Phillip, he ran a 10.54 100-meter dash. That is flying. So breakaway speed, can play slot, can play outside, kind of similar size to Brock Spalding. Also, if you watch some tape, similar to Brock Spalding as far as attitude. I actually talked to our guy, Ashton Gray, for a story. He said that the biggest thing Landon brings to the table is competitive nature, just like unafraid to get in anybody's face. There was a play against USF where the guy was showboating after a scoop and score touchdown, and he just got in his face in the end zone. It reminded me of when Brock Spalding got into his face. When the Pittsburgh linebacker's face, Rasheem Biles, after his touchdown. So competitive nature, proven production, another short, shifty, speedy receiver. I'm a fan of this move, and I think we'll see some size at receiver soon, but you can never have too many guys who can just make plays and make explosive plays at that.
Yeah, look, man, that's so much of what the air raid offense predicates itself on is its ability to make explosive plays, both with the football in your hand and being able to get separation so that the quarterback can hit you down the field or hit you across the middle when there is a lot of separation where you can stick your foot in the ground and get upfield. So I love this addition. You know, we've already got the one size guy. We already kind of talked about a jump ball guy in the red zone earlier in the week. I can't remember who that guy is. Was that the North Texas guy that we got, the first North Texas guy, or
so
drawing a blank?
Keith Hamilton, 6'2", 206 receiver, Furman. Yep.
From Furman. That's right. Or you said his name, I knew, but yeah. So look, I mean, adding another guy like this, could this be a Brock Spalding 2.0? You love it. I mean, and you know, kind of smaller, quick receivers have been the type of guys who've had a lot of success here at East Carolina. You think of guys like Tyler Snead, Blake Prohl as well. So I love this, and this is the kind of guy that, you know, even if, say, maybe you don't really hit on the quarterback position, this is a guy who, as long as you can get the ball in his hands, he can go out there and make the play himself.
And another guy who knows the system. He's going to come in ready to roll, just like Ashton Gray. All right, my favorite commit thus far, anytime you can get an offensive lineman who can play multiple positions, who has played a lot of ball. Ethan Kramer, I believe going into year 6 of college football, started at Northern Colorado. He's originally from Colorado, transferred to Northern Arizona. He has played left tackle. He has played right tackle. He has played right guard. He has played left guard, everywhere but center. He was an all-conference left guard this past season at Northern Arizona. Now, of course, FCS to the American Conference, it's a big jump. We know that, but still, I'll take a guy who's 6'4", 300 pounds, has played a ton of football, has proven to be a good player. He graded out well above average this past season for Northern Arizona. He's a plug-and-play guy. It's not quite the jump from D2 to FBS that like a Cooper Trivnosky had to make last year. I think the FCS to American jump is a little more feasible. He's played a lot of football. He's strong, moves his feet well. Huge fan of this guy. Ethan Kramer had other offers. I'm sure ECU had to pay a decent amount here. But look, any all-conference lineman who has versatility, I'm a fan of, Phillip. And how about you?
Yeah, I am. And I know some people are a little worried that, you know, a big guy coming up from the FCS level, because sometimes these don't hit, but a lot of times they do. We've had some success getting some FCS offensive linemen in here, so it is a little bit of a risk because the size of the players that he's been going against and the speed is different. But when you know that a guy is versatile and you can put him in a lot of different positions, I mean, look, offensive line is one of those positions you are going to suffer injuries at some point, and if you can plug and play this guy, you know, at any position or 4 out of the 5, you feel really good about him.
And another tight end, another older tight end. We talked about this yesterday as Kanan Hamlet, now officially in the boat, tight end transfer from App State, who will join Ismail Smith-Flores from Rio Grande Valley. I think you just had 2 older tight ends here. Probably Flores a little bit bigger, a little bit better blocker. Hamlet looked to me on film like a really good receiver. Still needs some work in the blocking game, but an older tight end. So I think we both feel good about that guy in particular. And what they're doing there. Jalen Bowden, the commitment this morning, cornerback from Minnesota. Interesting to me just from the standpoint of he's got pretty good size, 6'1", 180. He was really good at North Carolina Central, which is a solid FCS program, not in the best conference in the FCS, but a solid program. He actually graded out near elite there with an 80 PFF grade. On 50 targets, he allowed just 20 completions during the 2024 season, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick, 6 pass breakups. Goes to Minnesota, was a pretty highly touted transfer, and I don't know if the leap was too big. North Carolina Central to Minnesota for a kid from Charlotte, that's a pretty big change. Also, this is a Mallard Creek guy, so he's from up your way, Phillip. But either way, Jalen Bowden barely played at Minnesota. 3 games, redshirted, 2 years of eligibility left. He's now coming really back down as a bounce-back candidate. Not saying it's a slam dunk. You know, it does concern me a little bit. He couldn't get on the field at Minnesota, but I don't hate this approach. A guy who highly touted, maybe chased the money to a degree, biggest opportunity. Maybe he's a better fit for ECU, the American. We know Blake Harrell gets the most out of players in similar situations like we've seen like this. So I like this approach in recruiting. I don't think you want to take all your guys coming into this situation, but I'm fine taking a chance on a guy like Bowden like this.
Yeah, and I think that kind of comes back to what we've talked about throughout the week, right? It's about balance, right? You need some guys who are coming from one situation, some guys who are coming from another. And, yeah, you know, corner's one of those that you do rotate a fair amount, maybe not as much as the defensive line, but it is a little puzzling that he didn't get on the field. However, to your point, he's done it at the FBS level. And, you know, we talk about it, or sorry, not the FBS, but at the Division I level, excuse me. And, you know, receiving the perimeter side of the game, I think, is not as much of a jump FCS to FBS as it is with the interior guys. So, you know, he can probably do it. It's just one of those things. Was it a bad fit? You don't know. You know, when Blake Harrell and these guys go after these guys, look, they sit down, they talk to the young man, they figure out where his head's at. You know, he has always recruited high character people. And so maybe it was just a bad fit, you know. And look, like you said, you don't want to take on all guys like this, but I think this is a good opportunity.
All right, a couple questions here before we get a break in. We got to get to Ryheem Craig. All right, Cameron says, love the way this defense is being built for next year. I think we could be the best defense in the country as it looks like Memphis is struggling in the portal. Oh, I assume he means in the conference on the defensive side. USF has $8 million to spend on defense, so I think Josh Aldridge is going to put together a good defensive personnel. We'll see how they turn out. But, look, Blake Harrell, I trust his evaluation of defensive football. That's what I'll say. Cameron says, any chance we can get Sakai Barker back? Stay tuned. That is all I will say on that. If you're a subscriber on Hoist the Colors, you know some developments there. Nick says, I have word ECU will be getting a commitment from Mitch Griffiths, quarterback from Texas Tech Wake. He visited. I have not heard that he's committed yet. ECU also has another quarterback on campus today. Again, 50% off Hoist the Colors. And there's another quarterback in play too. So, again, ECU's got a plan at quarterback. Stay tuned for that as well. Joel with a comment, as exciting as the portal announcement are, Blake's ability to get the most out of our guys, whether existing or from the portal, is how we win. And I agree. There's been a few transfers who have told me that too. They told me, hey, ECU's not going to go out and get a bunch of highly paid transfers, but I want to play for a place where we all play as one. We play for each other, and we're going to bust our tails. So I think it's the right mentality, and you're not going to be able to go out and outbid a bunch of teams for top-tier talent. You're never going to get the sexiest transfers recruits at ECU. It's about finding the right fit, the right balance, as Phillip said. All right. Kenny adds, Memphis got his quarterback. That is true. Marcus Stokes committed to Memphis. We'll see how that turns out. He had been talking about him earlier in the week. And then Ryan asked, is the App State commitment the one that App fans were complaining about tampering last week, or was that someone else? I believe, Ryan, that was a program complaining. There was a program complaining about App. I think it was Stetson Football was saying App State was tampering is what you're looking for there. But maybe I missed App State. Everybody's tampering. I'm just going to be honest. Look, it's happening everywhere, and nobody's doing anything about it. So it's going to continue until somebody gets punished for it. All right, we got to get a break in.
You ain't trying.
That is true, especially now. And it ain't even cheating. It's look, everybody's doing it, and if you're not doing it, you're really not trying right now. That's for sure. All right, we'll get a break in. Ryheem Craig, we'll catch up with him over the phone next. ECU outside linebacker, graduated, moving on. We'll get his thoughts on his Pirate career after this.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. You get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arg!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Allen, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Every ECU fan's one stop for all things ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back in. Hoist the Colors here, second segment. We're catching up with a number of now former Pirates this week. We talked to Peyton Mangrum yesterday, also caught up with Sam Danka. Let's catch up now with Ryheem Craig, who just played his final game as a Pirate in the Military Bowl. Ryheem joins us now over the phone. First off, Ryheem, welcome. Second off, man, how does it feel to be wrapping up your collegiate career? Does it really feel like 5 years came and went that quickly?
Man, 5 years. That was the fastest 5 years ever went through. Like, it went through so fast. Like, especially this year. I think this year was probably the fastest year of my college career. How fast it went by.
It is crazy, man. They always say it'll go by quick, but then you look up and it's over with. We'll talk about your journey as a whole, but let's start with the Military Bowl. Just finishing with a win. What did that mean to you?
I mean everything. I mean, we was doubted the whole time. Like, Pitt was saying like they didn't want to play us. Like they needed better competition. And like I feel like we just always looked down upon just because we was like an American Conference team facing like an ACC team. I feel like we'll just look down and doubt it. So like a lot of people thought we were gonna go out there losing since we lost a lot of people. I mean, we lost our starting quarterback, so I can see where a lot of people were second guessing like how we were gonna respond. But I feel like we responded well, and like so it felt good, like just to achieve that win, like knowing like there was doubt in some people's minds about us the whole time.
I'll be honest, man. I picked Pittsburgh, Raheem. So I was glad you guys proved me wrong, man, and glad to be on the wrong side of that one. And you got like when y'all hear that stuff, like does the coach have to bring it to your attention, or are you guys just naturally seeing it on social media? Like, how do y'all and two, like you can use it as motivation, but obviously you can't get wrapped up in it. So what's that balance like?
I mean, we'll see it. We'll see like stuff like that, like naturally, just like from just scrolling on our phones and stuff. Naturally we'll just be on social media. But Coach Harold did a great job of like just making the main thing, which is us, like focusing on us. So like we all knew we had to go out there and play better than what we usually play and stuff like that. So our main focus is to play better than how we usually play. So I feel like it was always a faceless opponent. It was like never us, ECU versus Pitt. I feel like it was just the whole time just ECU versus ECU.
Ryheem Craig with us, former ECU outside backer. And Ryheem, you guys talked about this with Sam yesterday. I mean, like the quarterback, Mason Heinschel for Pittsburgh, he looked rattled, confused. And did you guys get a sense going into the game you guys are going to be able to do that? Is it just something that developed throughout the game with all the pressures and different looks y'all gave him? How did you see that playing out?
I honestly, like, I knew from like that second, third play in the first drive when I looked over and Coach Harrell sent all that pressure. I said, I know we're gonna rattle him up. Like that right there let me know that he planned on like sending us the rattle up the quarterback, to bring that pressure. So I felt like it was a great thing. I knew he was gonna get rattled up about it before the end of it.
You, Raheem,
go
ahead, man.
It felt good, like sending that pressure. I feel like that helped change like the whole like atmosphere of the game. Like, I mean, when you send in that pressure and then the quarterback's either getting hit or right there and he can't do nothing, that takes a toll on how the game can play out too.
No doubt. I mean, we saw that, and I don't know. It had to be kind of comforting. Obviously, Coach Aldridge did a good job calling plays, but you look over to the sideline. Blake's got his play sheet. Is it almost like, hey, man, he's back in his bag again, dialing up these blitzes?
Yeah, most definitely. I think he probably felt the same way. Like, I think he got a good kick out of it.
No doubt. Great game plan, great execution by the Pirates in the Military Bowl. All right, Ryheem Craig, 2 years at ECU. We'll talk about that and just everything you went through and basically full-time started those 2 years. Yeah, is there a game, a play, anything that stands out the most as you look back at your time with the Pirates?
I wouldn't say like probably a game, but a play that I look back on and I just shake my head. It was a play against NC State this year where a tackle tried to cut me and I had tipped the ball up in the air and I was supposed to catch it for a pick and I caught it and dropped it. I think that's probably the only play I look back on and just think, dang, I should have caught that.
Well, I mean, hey, that's one that'll stick with you. But what about the positives wise? I mean, the way y'all won against Memphis, that
Memphis?
Celebration. Yeah.
That now I've never out of 5 years of college I've never experienced a game with an atmosphere like that. Like even at University of Louisville, when we came out and we looked up and we seen like the fans taking their shirts off, waving their shirts around. I mean, I feel like that just gave us so much momentum. Like it just changed the whole. I think it just changed because we had talked about it in the locker room before. Like halftime, like coming out, we got to win the middle eight. It's all about how we go out and attack it, and I feel like the fans just boosted that even more. And then after that, I feel like everything was just starting to fall into play. Like everybody's going at it, like giving it their not saying they was giving it their all the whole game, but it's just like they just flipped the switch and just turned everything up a notch.
Raheem,
so
take
really
me back
shout out to Pirate Nation for that.
Yeah, that was a crazy. That's a crazy experience. You could literally feel the energy in the stadium that day. It changed when the shirt, the tarps off guys got it going. Crazy day in Dowdy Ficklen. Take me back, Raheem, to the middle of the 2024 season. Mike Houston just been let go. You were in your first year at ECU at the time. What was it about Blake Harrell that allowed him to galvanize you guys? And you look up a year and a half later, 14-5 as head coach. The players had a lot to do with that, but him keeping the players together, you guys in the locker room, like what was it about Coach Harrell that allowed you guys to stay together?
Coach Harrell, so when all that happened, like, most time, like, people just go on and be like, okay, it is what it is and stuff like that. So I felt that, I remember, like, when we came in after we heard the news, like, meetings was, like, he had pushed meetings and, like, told coaches, like, we're just not going to meet today. I want y'all to just sit down and actually talk to your players. And really, so, like, I feel like that helped a lot. Like, we sat down and we talked with our position coaches, like, as a group, in our position groups and stuff like that, and then as a team. And then Coach Harrell came in, and then he started mixing things up. Like, he started doing, like, team bonding activities. Like, he went in the locker room. We switched our lockers around. So he just basically, like, demanded us to, bond with our teammates and stuff like that. And then, so I think once he did that right there, it just brought us all together because nobody ever had a problem with anybody on the team. So, like, that just forced us to be around them or seeing more guys hanging out with each other outside of the stadium. So I feel like Coach Harrell did he really pushed a brother and the family mentality, like, after that happened. Like, just making sure that we're all together and just know that we're loved and, stuff like that throughout the building. So I feel like that really played a part in everybody just coming together as one.
No doubt, and it showed on the field as well. All right, Kenny Curlins is in our YouTube chat. He says, Ryheem, thank you for being a Pirate. Good luck in your future. He also says, the first thing I saw after the game-winning sack was that flag you had. New tradition of bowl games: take the other team's flag or the towel. I think he means. Well, what's the deal with the towel swipe? Did you get their quarterback's towel?
I knew. It was the last play, and then, like, so when I tackled him, I felt his towel in my hand. So I was like, it's my last college game. They doubted us, everybody had something to say. So I was like, why not? Just go out with a bang. So I feel like I just did that just for fun, giggles.
Well, we know
it was
Yannick.
a funny experience, though.
Yeah. Do we know if Yannick still has the NC State towel from last year?
I think so. I know I still have the Pittsburgh towel. I got it hanging up in my room.
That's great, man. That'll make for a great memorabilia right there. Ryheem, a couple more things will get you out of here, man. College football these days is crazy. Obviously, the games, I always say the games are awesome, and the off-the-field stuff is a lot to follow for the fans. You obviously were a guy who benefited from the portal. You had 3 good years at Louisville. I'm sure you wanted to play more. I think you had you went through a coaching change as well there, at least defensive staff, some of that stuff. But you come to ECU, you play a ton more. How would you kind of describe the off-the-field nature right now? Like, I know fans at times are frustrated with it. The players, you guys do benefit from it at times as well. But is there kind of some give and take there, like with just all the moving parts and stuff?
I mean, it just depends on how you look at it. Are you saying, like, how do I feel about, like, the portal, like that way, or
as a player, like, you guys benefit from it, and at times as a going to the bowl game, like some of your teammates left, but they're doing the best thing they feel for them individually. So, from a player standpoint, how do you kind of look at the portal college football these days?
I think the portal is kind of like, I think it's a good thing, like, because you shouldn't have to sit on a team that you're not playing and get no reps, where you can maybe transfer out and go find a new home and build a bond and actually get some quality reps. I mean, that was my biggest thing when I left Louisville. Like, I was more of a rotational guy, third down pass rush type of guy. And then, I took my chance and ended up coming to East Carolina and was a 2-year starter. So I feel like, you never know what doors is open up on the other side. Like, so some people can take that chance, just do what's best for them. Like, what was best for me in 2023 was to go out and, find a home where I can get some good quality film and reps these last 2 years.
No doubt. Ryheem Craig now going on to bigger and better things. What's next for you? Do you got any plans? I'm sure you're going to go through pro day and everything, try to get a shot at the next level. What's your schedule looking like for these next coming months?
I start training and stuff like that. So I'm right now training for pro day. So I'm just really leaning it up to God, just taking it day by day, trying to get back in that rhythm from the bowl game and stuff like that. Getting back in that rhythm, working out, running and stuff like that. Just getting ready for pro day. So maybe hopefully I get a shot at the draft. That's what I feel like. I feel like if I work hard enough, that can be one of the doors I could open up. Hopefully.
No doubt, Ryheem. Just keep putting that work in, man, and it'll happen for sure. Ryheem Craig, ECU outside linebacker. Hey, man, we appreciate the time, and a lot of fans in the chat proud of you finishing out your career. Multi-time bowl champion coming to ECU, man, so we appreciate that. Enjoyed watching the purple and gold, and thanks for taking some time on the show as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I thank y'all, Pirate Nation, man. I love y'all. Y'all forever being home, second home to me, man. I love y'all. I really showed me a good time these last 2 years.
Appreciate you, Ryheem. Hey, you're welcome back. You know that at any time, and you'll be treated well in Greenville, man. Appreciate you again.
All right.
That's Ryheem Craig, ECU outside linebacker, and I know a lot of Pirate fans enjoy hearing from Ryheem. We'll get a break in. We'll come back. We'll catch up with Marlon Gunn Jr., the Pirate running back. Just wrapped up his career as well on the other side.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown. At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Welcome back in segment 3 here on Hoist the Colors on a Thursday. We brought you the latest transfer portal news earlier. We just talked to Ryheem Craig, ECU outside linebacker. We'll now talk to another former Pirate. As crazy as that is to say, he is Marlon Gunn Jr., ECU running back, just wrapped up his Pirate career. Marlon, first off, welcome to the show. Secondly, I know you've been asked about this a lot, but have you gotten over the phantom whistle from the Military Bowl yet, or is it still driving you a little crazy?
No, I appreciate y'all for having me, but yeah, I've gotten over it, and I really didn't even have the reaction I should have had, but I just had to keep my composure throughout the game. So because we still had to go out there and finish. I couldn't let one play, determine the rest of the game.
No doubt. And you guys as a team did that even after a holding call, even after a scoop and score. Right after that, it was just like a gut punch. But in the moment, I mean, did you even hear anything? Because I heard a very faint whistle listening back, and also it just seemed like you guys were celebrating pretty hard down there.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Growing up, since I've been playing football, my coaches always told me play through the whistle, and that was one of the whistles I didn't hear. So I kept going. And I'm like, okay. I spun out of it. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm still up. And I just ran. And the ref behind, nobody stopped me. Nobody kept blowing no whistle. So I'm like, okay, it's going to score a touchdown.
Obviously, it doesn't count in the stats, but I think I know I'll always count the run. I think Pirate Nation will as well. We'll always remember it. So, you still have the highlight too. I mean, because like you said, the ref didn't stop. The Pittsburgh players didn't stop trying to tackle you. So I'm like, to me, the run still kind of counts in my mind. I mean, are you still going to show your kids your highlights one day, that sort of thing?
Of course. It don't have no flags on it. Ain't no flags on the tape. And the referee running with me scored put his touchdown hands up. So, hey, why not?
No doubt. I'm with you there. How much reaction back home did you get, when all that stuff? Because it went pretty viral, obviously, and that, I guess, if there was a positive from it, you guys overcoming that adversity, you going viral a little bit for being kind of robbed of that moment. How much did you hear from your friends, family back home?
Oh, phone was blowing up. Everybody, from my young coaches, and when I was playing football at 7, 8 years old, they man, that's crazy. That's crazy. They robbed you. Just friends, family, my old teachers, everybody. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So hey, everybody definitely seen it. I tell you that.
No doubt. It was crazy, man. Marlon Gunn with us, and incredible run, incredible career at ECU with the Pirates. A lot of fans in our comment section, Marlon, thanking you for your time here. Kenny saying, Marlon, they may have taken your amazing run off the books, but Pirate Nation knows that was a touchdown all the way. We always will remember it. Thank you for being a Pirate. John Moody says, thank you, Marlon, for your commitment to East Carolina during your time here. Let's just talk about that, man. Look, you were one of a handful of guys who started at ECU, finished at ECU. Why did you never want to leave? Why did you want to finish as a Pirate?
You just kind of said it right there. The fans, man, they kept me there. Just the fan base, the community, just good to be a loyal Pirate for real, because you never know what you can get out of it. So it's really, Dowdy's a special place, man. So that's what kept me there. For real, the fans, they're one of a kind. Yeah. It's I always tell them, we feed off their energy. So if they hype, then, it just helps us play better. So I appreciate them a lot.
And there were times, Marlon, obviously you were a guy who didn't get necessarily starter reps when, in my opinion, you probably could have. So, was there ever a moment, I'm sure people were in your ear trying to get you to hit the portal. Was there ever a time you were close to doing it, or were you always just a Pirate?
I'd say, yeah, probably a couple times I was, but at the end of the day, sometimes, like they say, the grass ain't always green on the other side. So, I was just always one of the, kids that just stayed humble, and just one of those ones just ready when my time called for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just because, it's just real life situation. Just because life get hard, what you just going to stop and give up on it? No, hey, adversity comes with anything, no matter what it is, from the workforce to sports to anything. It's just life, period.
It's a great attitude to have, man. It'll serve you well, no doubt. Marlon Gunn Jr. with us here. ECU, great, wrapping up his 4 years with the Pirates. And Marlon, the Military Bowl, I told Ryheem this. I picked Pittsburgh. I think a lot of media picked Pittsburgh. A lot of guys were doubting you, just given the losses in the portal, all that good stuff. How much did y'all use that as motivation going into the game?
We use that as a lot of motivation, because it's just the brotherhood and the culture we built in the locker room is we had no choice but to stick together at that time. That was a time, if no other time for us to come together was that time, because like you said, with all the losses to the players, the coaches and different things like that, if our mind was took off the game, then we would have lost it. But throughout the game and just throughout the bowl practices itself, we practicing, seniors, we lead and like, look, this our last one. Like, we landed all on the line. Like me and Anthony, and Ryheem also, like everybody, we, you know what I'm saying? We telling them from offensive, defensive side, like, man, look, we got to go out with a bang. Like, ain't no other way around it for our last game. So, and just being able to, keep our composure throughout the game, even when those bad plays were happening. And then we'll come up and make up for the good ones. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Just staying together for real. So it was we use that as a lot of motivation for real because, of course, everybody not here. And, you just can't take the rat poison for real. Like, oh, they ain't got no coordinator. They ain't got this player, so they going to lose. Nah. We just used that as motivation and kept our head down and kept working.
It showed in the bowl game for sure. Marlon Gunn Jr. with us at East Carolina, finishing up his career. Now with us on Hoisted Colors. Marlon, I asked you about it after FAU. I wrote about it. It felt like you were playing your best football really towards the end of your career, getting the most carries, producing the most. And I'm sure you've got a dream, just like everybody else, of going to the pros, going to the NFL. So what's kind of your plan right now as far as training and continuing to show that your best football is still in front of you?
Oh yeah, I start that's and like you said, that is the plan, since we were kids, like starting playing football. That's what we see. So, hopefully the league next, and I start training next week, and that's kind of where I'm at with it, and just leave it all in God's hands, man, for real.
Are you back home in Louisiana?
Yeah.
Okay. Will you you gonna be training down there?
I'll probably be back. I'll be back in Greenville probably next week sometime.
Okay. Marlon Gunn Jr. with us here. ECU running back, doing his thing, getting ready for the next level, and a lot of fans in the chat thanking you for your time at ECU. So you, as a guy who stuck it out with the Pirates, like we know college football is just crazy right now at the portal, and I don't think anybody blames any individual for making the decision they feel is best for them. But like, how did you react as a guy who stayed loyal when other players would hit the portal for one reason or another? How did you handle that as Marlon Gunn?
I mean, just being me and just seeing that as another window of opportunity. I mean, like you said, yeah, you want to see the best for those guys, but you also want to. They started the season with us. You want to see them finish it too. But, I mean, hey, you just always, and like you say, college football is crazy, so you just always got to have the next man up mentality for real.
How do you follow all this stuff on social media? Not only at ECU, I mean, it's happening everywhere, like guys entering the portal left and right. And I just feel like I'm covering it, but every time I get on my phone, it's like just everywhere. I don't know. It's almost like the cool thing to do when I feel like, in my opinion, the cool thing to do is stay at one place and get a degree, finish it out. I don't know. Like, what is it like to follow as a player?
That's what they say. I mean, a lot of people, they switch schools every year. So, I mean, you never know if they're the problem. You never know if the school's the problem. You just never know, from the outside looking in. But, I mean, like you say, it does look good on your resume if you stay, stick it out at one school, get your degree and stuff like that. But, I mean, hey, some people have, different paths, so.
No doubt. Marlon Gunn with us, ECU running back. And when you look at what Blake Harrell was able to do, Marlon, obviously DC before he became the head coach, how do you describe the way he led? How did that lead to the results? After the whole Mike Houston situation, unfortunate, but like the way Coach Harrell handled it, how did he become such a good leader of men for you guys in the locker room?
Just making sure that, we kept it all about us. Like, he did, just leave all the outside noise and everything else. Like, the only people that mattered was the ones that was in the room, and that was for the team, man. Everybody played for each other, and then, of course you got your whys or whatever, why you play the sport or whatever. But like I say, man, that, to all the newcomers, that the culture in the locker room that Coach Harrell, has built is one of a kind. So, it makes you want to, play up, play for him. So it's like, yeah, Coach Harrell's a special dude, man, for real.
He just seems like such a player's coach, like you said. And I don't know, Mike Houston, I think, was as well. But we see Coach Harrell, us in the media, some of his fans, see him so laid back in certain settings. But, when I watch those pregame speeches, I don't know, when he gets in that fiery mood, you got to respond to it pretty quickly, right, as a player. That's got to fire you up when he gets locked in.
Oh yeah, because you don't really see it often. So, like we feed off his energy. If he come in the building like, man, I don't really want to be here today, then why would that make us want to practice? But if he come in there every morning like, hey, let's get it. Like his energy's up, then hey, let's go practice, let's get after it. And he harped on that all week, all year. He harped on that all season.
I see you're a major in communication, so obviously your goal to play pro football, but down the road, what's kind of, do you want to get into any sort of coaching? Do you want to get into media? What's kind of your goal with that when that time comes?
I'll probably get into coaching. Yeah, because I want to see, kids get to the next level, succeed, and, help them develop and stuff like that. And, I just always been, a good person to help out, within the community and different things like that. So I'll look into it, but I'll also get into like the media stuff, but I don't like hearing myself talk, so I probably won't look too much into that. I probably won't look too much into that.
I will say, Marlon, after about a month,
voice.
Yeah, he does. Marlon, after about a month, you get used to hearing yourself talk. Trust me, it doesn't take long. I didn't like hearing myself talk either.
It is weird, man. It is weird. So I understand. Hey, when you look back at your 4 years, is there, obviously the play against Pittsburgh will be there, but is there like a play or a game that you'll always remember in terms of just whether it be team camaraderie, individual moment that you always look back upon?
Probably I'm going to have to go Memphis game when Peyton Mangham caught that last touchdown. And, just the fans that at that moment, like, the students waving their white shirts or whatever they had, like that was probably one of the best moments I've had in my 4 years. Like just being able to experience that, and then the fans storming the field, it was nothing like it.
Well, Marlon, hey, we appreciate the time, man. I will say we're gonna miss having you around. Although you're welcome back anytime, you know that, and I know a lot of fans in the chat are saying that as well. In Greenville, we'll always welcome you back. And we're going to miss those dances in the end zone, man. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to top those.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try to pass them on to somebody. See if they can get it down.
Yeah, I have my doubts, but maybe you can pick somebody out to get it done. Hey, Marlon, we appreciate it, man. Congrats on a fantastic career. And I know a lot of people are proud of you for being loyal, remaining a Pirate, man. So thank you for your time in Greenville.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. That's Marlon Gunn Jr. Will always be a Pirate great after the way he went out with East Carolina, winning the Military Bowl back-to-back years. All right, we will get a break in. We will come back. We'll wrap up the show after this.
Don't miss year-end deals during the season of giving at Greenville Toyota. Drive a new Camry, just $229 a month, $229 a month, or new RAV4, $279 a month, $279 a month. Hurry in for the season of giving at Greenville Toyota.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
The season of giving is here at Greenville Toyota. Unwrap a new Corolla, $159 a month, $159 a month. Or new Tacoma, $219 a month, $219 a month. Don't miss the season of giving with year-end deals at Greenville Toyota.
As we set sail and hoist the colors.
Ahoy, me hearties.
Back to Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment here. We just caught up with Marlon Gunn and Ryheem Craig, former Pirate greats. If you missed any of that, check it out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify for our replays. We'll try to get a few more former Pirates on as well into the weeks ahead as those guys begin to prepare for the next phase, whether it be the NFL or the real world. And Philip Pilkin rejoins us producing today. I think Marlon, he's got like such a laid-back, cool, confident voice. I think he'd be a great radio guy. I mean, to me, I guess he doesn't want to do that.
No, like I said, I think it's just the sound of his own voice. I mean, heck, I hated the sound of my own voice when I first got into it, too. He did a great job today. I really enjoyed him on the coach's show when he was on there with Patrick. So, no, I think he could do it, but also he could be one of those guys if he really, it seems like his passion is coaching up the young men. Maybe he's one of the guys who takes the coaching route, and then when he retires from coaching, we see him as a color commentator or an analyst on a pregame deal.
We'll have to make it happen. But, yeah, a lot of big fans of Marlon Gunn, and for good reason, in Pirate Nation. All right, the CFP semifinals start tonight. We got Miami Ole Miss, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be watching this game closely for a couple of reasons, but the main reason being it should be a fun football game. You said Miami's favored by 3?
Yeah.
You were texting me and Bobby during the break.
Yeah.
Because we got to pick this game.
Because I wanted to pick it on the air, yeah.
So I'm torn here, man. I think obviously you had the Pete Golding situation. He's done a great job. I don't think Lane Kiffin thought they would get this far. So now he's like calling some of his coaches back. We do know that the OC is going to call plays, not John David Baker, although I'm sure JDB is taking maybe an elevated role with some of the coaches returning to LSU. But Charlie
he
White
was
Jr.
sitting
will call
next
the
to
plays.
the OC during the last game.
Yes, I saw him taking some notes. So he's involved. Miami, the offense has been bad, but the defense has been great. Can they score enough here in the Fiesta Bowl to keep pace with Ole Miss? I'm torn. I'll let you go first. Who you got here?
Look, I'm going to ride with Trinidad Shameless. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I just can't pick against that guy right now. He has given me no reason to ever doubt him. So, no disrespect to Carson Beck, but I'm running with Trinidad Shameless, and whatever happens, happens, and I can die on that hill, and I'm content with it.
He has been making some incredible plays. I mean, that play he made where he avoided the sack, went like 30 yards back, then found a wide open receiver, then he threw it on the run on an absolute dart. Division II quarterback just shows that you can find talent anywhere. And this guy was not even projected to be the starter at the beginning of the year ahead of Austin Simmons. And yet here he is on the verge of a national championship. I feel like we're going to get a Carson Beck game where he turns the ball over multiple times. And it's going to happen tonight.
There you go.
And I'm taking Ole Miss as well.
All right.
I think Miami has been so bad offensively because they're being so vanilla. They're terrified that Carson Beck is going to lose the game. And I think maybe they get behind by a score tonight. He starts pressing, and we get a turnover. So I'm excited for Friday's show, man. We're going to have Bobby on. We'll pick the other CFP game in the NFL playoffs. We'll obviously talk portal. I'm sure there'll be some more commitment announcements between now and then. But this is the Friday show I've looked forward to maybe more than any other all year, Philip.
Oh, I'm excited, man. It's going to be great. By the way, Bobby is also on Ole Miss. He did text us that. So all three of us taking the Rebels +3. Gosh, this is going to be fun. We're talking NFL playoffs. The Panthers are in it right in the middle of the college football playoff. But, hey, I don't want to rush tonight because tonight's going to be great, 7:30. I'm excited.
Just think, man, Thursday night, CFP. Friday night, CFP semi. Saturday, 2 NFC wildcard games, including one you'll be at. Sunday, 3 games. Monday night football playoffs. I mean, we have 5 days of playoff football, Philip. It doesn't get any better, man.
It doesn't. And think of how this week started. I don't know if you watched that Montana State-Illinois State game. Our friend Zach Kaplan was there. That was a hell of a game, man. It is. The playoffs have started. It's awesome.
What a time to be alive. Enjoy it, because unfortunately it's going to be over soon, and we're not going to have football on the field for a while. So please enjoy it. I'll say that. All right, we are out of time for today's show. Again, appreciate our guests, Marlon Gunn Jr., Ryheem Craig. Great stuff from them. Shout out to Philip in the studio as well. Tomorrow we will have Bobby Harward in studio. We'll have an updated standings from our terrible game picks, but we'll see if we can get closer to crowning a winner. We'll also have the latest on the transfer portal as well. ECU continuing to do a ton of work there to build next year's roster. Appreciate everybody in the chat. It's been a great week of coverage in terms of interacting with you guys. A lot of viewership. Appreciate y'all's interest in the program. We'll see you on Friday, 12 noon.